Hello there folks, welcome back to the Chap's Guide. My name is Ash and I am your host on this journey through men's style, self-development and personal grooming. And let me welcome you to a very special day in the sartorial calendar. It is a day which most of you I'm sure have never heard of, but today being the 13th of November is the feast day of St Homobonus. Now Homobonus is acknowledged as being the patron saint of tailors, shoemakers and clothworkers. And today is the day which we celebrate the man who stands as a shining example to many of the professions which clothe us and give us the attire that we need to look our very best as we stride through life. And we celebrate today the work of our tailors, of the people who make our knitwear and the people who make our shoes. It's a little moment to reflect and thank the folks who make it possible for us to look dapper and sharp. And today I'm going to give you 3 reasons why we have to be grateful for St Homobonus to bring attention on those various artisanal, professional paths. But first of all, I just want to give you a little bit of an unfolding of the legend of St Homobonus. Who was he? Where does it all stem from? Well, Homobonus was in fact a 12th century merchant who was around in the Cremona area of northern Italy in that period of history. And he was a man who was known for his honesty and his charity and his skill in the trades in which he worked. And he was a man who followed that path very, very closely and honestly and with great decency. And it was known that he was somebody who saw the ability to do business well as a virtue within itself, as a form of holiness. And he obviously accrued great investment from the people around him, not just financial, but in the way that he conducted himself. Because when he died in 1197, Pope Innocent III canonized Homobonus, made him Saint Homobonus. And the Pope himself made it known. He declared, in fact, that it was possible for laymen, just like Homobonus, to become saints, not just a path which was open to people who'd followed a deeply religious life. Because he, Homobonus, had made his way to sainthood through honest labour and personal decency. And for me, even though I'm not a person of religious faith, the very fact that this man was able to ascend to that level of society lets me know that following the path of dressing well is worthy. Now, over time, understandably, the various guilds of tailors, shoemakers and clothworkers have come to adopt Homobonus as the patron saint of their profession because he really embodied that spirit of craftsmanship, but with conscience as well. So today let's talk about those 3 areas which he serves as patron saint of and why they remain valuable to us today. Now, of the body of people who refer to St Homobonus as their patron saint, we come to the tailors. And of course, they're hugely valuable to us as intentionally well-dressed men. Because tailors, well, they provide for us the architecture of a gentleman's apparel. It's all about making us look good, isn't it? That's what tailors do. And it's far more than just cutting material and sewing it into garments that are recognizable. A tailor is responsible for the architecture of our elegance. And a well-tailored jacket is something which can improve your silhouette as a gentleman. It can improve your posture. It can boost your confidence and make you feel like a better version of yourself when you go out into that world. It provides for us a sense of quiet dignity, just in an item of clothing. And the first reason is that a good tailor reveals rather than disguises the best parts of our body. It's not just putting on a big shapeless garment which maybe hides the sins of the flesh, but actually it sculpts us. It makes us look better. It brings out the man from within and improves visually how you look within the world. Because fit is the foundation of authenticity. And when we dress well in our own style, which is inimitable to us, we tend to feel more confident and, as I say, better versions of ourselves. The other thing is that tailoring is timeless. It truly is. Because while fashion changes, the structured jacket, like I'm wearing now, it remains the most flattering and versatile of garments that man has ever had at his disposal. You look back 50 years at men wearing jackets just like this one, and I'm sure if you look forward in 50 years' time from where I sit now, you will find men dressing in jackets just like this one. And that is something which transcends mere fashion. It is timeless style. And that's something that tailors do for us. They cut our clothes in such a way that they can be even handed down across generations. And finally, tailoring, right? By buying tailored clothing, we are supporting a profession of artisans who are actually on the brink of extinction. We live in an era now where few people go to see a tailor. They will buy their clothing from faceless online organizations who mass produce their products. There's no love, there's no human intervention hardly in the clothes that many people buy. So buying and visiting a tailor keeps alive the skills of those people whose hands have provided these clothes for us across generations of time. Now, the second group of people who defer to St Homobonus as their patron saint are the shoemakers, and rightly so, because they are the grounding, foundational element of our clothing. It's where we meet the road, and everything grows from our footwear. And you know, you can tell a great deal about a man by what he wears on his feet and how he looks after them. And it's the shoemaker who provides that for us, because quality shoes, let us not forget for one moment, are the cornerstone of our comfort and our poise as we stride through this world. You know, believe me, if you've got an uncomfortable pair of shoes on your feet, your day can be a long and torturous experience. And you certainly won't have good poise if every time you take a step, your shoe pinches you and you have an uncomfortable experience. So our shoes support us through every step of our day, and hence it's important and highly valuable to us that we invest our time and our money in good quality footwear. And the other reason why I think I sort of have a deep affinity with my footwear is well-made shoes are repairable. Right? We live in an era where everything seems to be fast fashion, worn once or twice and disposed of low quality, often made with synthetic materials and put together in the simplest, cheapest way. But good quality footwear of the type made by people who venerate, St Homobonus, the shoemakers of this world, right? They hand-welted shoes or Goodyear welted shoes, they can easily be repaired. Shoes can actually pass down generations. They can see you service for decades if you invest well and you look after your footwear. And it really is a quiet rebuke to that throwaway culture that we live in today, where things are discarded after only a few wears. I can tell you, I have got shoes in my collection which are over 30 years old, and they show no sign of coming to the end of their journey with me yet. Now, the final group who respect Homobonus as their patron saint is the clothworkers. And really, these are the folks who spin and weave and knit the cloth that will be made into the clothing which keeps us warm, keeps us impregnable against the elements as we face the cooler time of year. And amongst the cloth workers, for me, the ones who get my greatest respect are those who prepare our knitwear, an area living in a temperate climate here in the United Kingdom, where half of the year can sometimes be a little chilly. There's nothing I enjoy more than a nicely knitted woolen or cashmere sweater, be it a cardigan or a jumper or a row neck sweater, to keep me properly protected at the time of year when the temperature plunges. And of all of the reasons why which we should appreciate knitwear, there is the fact that it bridges formality and casuality. A nice structured sweater, a roll neck sweater or a cardigan, shawl collared cardigan, do you know what? They can replace a jacket in certain more casual situations without losing any of the elegance and a refinement that you're seeking to bring to a situation. Knitwear has that ability, and I really respect and have a lovely collection of knitwear, because I know that whilst it's often considered quite informal, there are days when I can deploy it to keep me snugly and warm, yet still totally appropriate for the situations I encounter. And the other, another good reason for loving good knitwear is that it endures as well. You know, it's not something which is owned for just one season and disposed of. Very much like the synthetic material sweaters, which you will encounter on the mass markets. Good quality knitwear, made of wool or cashmere or merino, all the various types of wool. They're natural materials, natural fabrics, right? They will allow the body to perspire, to act in its normal way. And they actually get a little bit better as time goes on, as the fibres get a little more soft and more comforting alongside the skin. And you know, you get that wonderful feeling of being corseted in a natural material. There's nothing like a good quality sweater. They age beautifully, and they totally are a thumb in the face of disposable garments that we are seeing all too often today. And finally, I think another thing about knitwear, and one of the things I often think about when I put them on, you know, it honours heritage. Because the knits, the woolen materials that we love and appreciate so much, for centuries, these things have been made in Scottish mills and in Italian factories, you know, all around the world. There are artisans who are generations deep into the knowledge and the skill which is necessary to provide us this beautiful knitwear, which we wear on a daily basis on the cooler times of year. And by buying proper knitwear, we are keeping alive the professions and the career paths of these craftspeople who, if we don't support them, they will disappear. And if that happens, we're never going to get them back. So my friends, let us all, on this St Homobonus Day, let us remember that style for us should begin with gratitude. Gratitude for the tailors who have the skill through their apprenticeships and knowledge of being able to tailor our clothing and make us look our very best. Let us also have gratitude for the shoemakers who have learned through generations the skills of manipulating leather to give us the best shoes out there. And let us also remember the cloth workers, particularly those who work in the knitwear field and who weave tweed that we all wear and keeps us warm and stylish. Let us all think of those as we celebrate, maybe by raising a glass, on St Homobonus Day, the saint who keeps alive the thought of all of these skills which keep us looking good. I hope you've enjoyed my celebration video today on St Homobonus Day. If you did, like the video, subscribe to see more like this. If you'd like to come on this journey with me towards Chap Nirvana, you can become one of my patrons. The link to my Patron page is in the description box below this video. Go down there, join up. There are free tiers to my Patron membership, so you don't have to pay. And you can get the extra videos which I make and a personal dialogue with me if you want to have that. I'd love to have you along with me on the journey. And don't forget, you can ask me a question too. Drop it in. I'd love to hear from you. So until the next time we meet, enjoy today, St Homobonus Day.